Our last module for Introduction to Probability is Compound Events and Dependency. Before we get into that, I wanted to direct your attention up here to Class Tools Math. If you click on there and you go to Quizzes, there are some quizzes you need to complete. The quizzes you're only allowed to submit once, and the summative quiz at the very end here is a 2-hour time limit. So you need to complete each one of these quizzes, and I'd like to have it done by Sunday. Again, there are some students that just were added to the course, so there is some flexibility there because they're not up to speed yet. But I'd like to have the second unit out for Monday morning, and we can begin the next unit. Also, under Dropbox, you can take a look at your feedback. If you go to each of your Dropboxes, the first three have a rubric assigned to them, and you can see your mark. And I've put some feedback for you in there if you needed some. Under discussions, same idea. You need to complete all the discussion posts and submit that. Will also be a rubric attached to some of the discussion posts that you can take a look at. So back to the content to do the last module. We are looking at compound events and dependency. So if we go to content here, just a quick overview of it, we're looking at compound events. So that means more than one event occurring. So the example here, they're talking about hitting a target in archery as a compound event because the success depends on the wind. Some examples here, some simple examples, they talk about flipping 2 coins. The first coin is flipped and then the second coin is flipped, and the first coin is independent to the second coin, meaning the first coin, it doesn't matter if it's heads or tails, it's not going to affect the second coin's outcome. It's still going to be a 50-50 chance of it being either heads or tails. So that's independent. Down here is the definition of them, and dependent event is obviously where the events have different outcomes depending on what already happened. So the first outcome will affect the other outcome, the next outcome. An example down here is talking about a spinner. You have 10 options, and over here you have 52 cards in a deck. So how many options do you have in total? Well, you can see the solution here. And what's the probability of spinning a 5 and drawing a 5? So let's say this blue is a 5. So you have a 1 in 10 chance of spinning on that blue. Similarly, you have 5 of diamonds, 5 of clubs, 5 of hearts, and 5 of spades. So you have a 4 out of 52 chance of drawing a 5, and you can see the math here behind it, and in total you get 0.769%. As we scroll down, we talk about conditional probability. You can read the example here about Denver Broncos winning if they're at home or away, and you can see the tree diagram that you'll have to do in the Dropbox for the solution down here. And you can see the solution down here. So when you do the Dropbox, please label like they have it here. Some of you got away and just wrote down the final answer or didn't show all your work. You need to show all your work in the Dropbox, just like it's shown here. So for the discussion, it says share your thinking. Create a scenario involving drawing 2 golf balls from a bag. There are different colors, but there can be several of the same color. Ask a probability question such that the compound event of drawing the 2 balls is made up of independent events. So for example, let's say we have 10 golf balls in the bag and 2 of them are red. So what's the probability of pulling out a red golf ball? Well, that would be 2 out of 10. And then because it's independent, that means you need to put that red golf ball back in the bag for the second golf ball to be pulled, because you don't want the first golf ball being pulled out and then not being replaced, because if it's not replaced, then that'll affect the probability of the second golf ball. Take a look at the discussion. There's some really good points there of your classmates and your peers. Obviously, dependent events, that's when you pull the one red golf ball out and you do not replace it, because that will affect the second golf ball's probability. And made up of either independent or dependent events, but has more than one way to happen, so multiple cases. So this is the example up here of the Denver Broncos when they can either win at home or away. You can take a look at the tree diagram and see the solution there. So it's either winning at home or away. So they're trying to get the total probability of winning. So you might think of a different event down here for the golf balls. Maybe you could pick a golf ball with your right or left hand. or you could use primary colors, or you could use red and green, or red or green, sorry. So there's lots of examples that for multiple cases that could occur. So you share one of the examples with your classmates, and then down here, when you're going to submit your work via Dropbox, so you're going to calculate the probability of 3 events: independent, dependent, and then the multiple cases one. And you need to use two from the discussion. So you need to pick someone's examples from the discussion and one that you created, and you need to create a tree diagram. So if you want to take a picture again, you can do that, or if you want to do it in Microsoft Word, I'm very easygoing with the Dropbox. And please show the complete solutions for all three. And then this is what I was talking about, take the quiz. So if you click this, take the quiz, it will go to the quiz for this submodule. If you missed the first two quizzes, that's okay. You just need to go up, like I showed you earlier, under class tools, class math tools, and complete the other two quizzes. And again, take a screenshot of the success criteria and learning skills for self-assessment, and drop that into the Dropbox. Any questions, let me know. Again, I like to have this unit done by Sunday, so then we can move along and begin unit number 2, which I will make available to you probably Monday, about permutations. And I will be giving you the solutions of the Dropbox probably next week. Again, I'm just waiting for some of the students to complete it, and then that way I can give you the solutions for it so you can see what the correct solution is. Thank you.